Hey everyone, I'm Dan. I've got my buddy Ricky here.
Hello.
And we got some positive response from our summer movie review series, so we decided we'd continue that with the next 6 movies that we've seen since the summer. And we'll tell you all about them here on Multi-Dimensional Geek. Alright, so after our summer movie review series, the first movie we saw was Abominable.
Yeah, it was about a
Yeti.
A Yeti who escapes a lab.
And meets up with a little girl, like a teenager.
Yeah. She's a teenager.
And she's been saving up a whole bunch of money to try to go on a trip and visit all these places that her mom said that they would go eventually. But she basically decides that she wants to help this Yeti get home to Mount Everest.
Yeah, he escapes the lab, and his personality is funny as all get out because it's like he's a little kid. He's about the age of, what would you say, 5 or 6? Maybe a little bit older, 8 or 9.
Yeah, maybe he's like a preteen.
Yeah, but the Yeti himself is funny, and that was one of my favorite parts about it.
It's quite a heartwarming movie, and it's a great journey. You know, there's basically a big businessman that's after them because he wants the Yeti for scientific purposes.
Yeah, and there's a brother, and they're next door neighbors.
It's her
cousin and his older brother that go along on the trip. He doesn't want to go at all. He's like the older brother's against it at first.
Yep. But they end up, of course, getting him there by the end of the movie. Spoiler, but lots of wackiness. Apparently, in the end, it was actually the more science lady that was the bad guy. The rich guy didn't even understand quite what was going on.
Yeah, well, there was a science lady that came along with him on the trip.
But she wanted to kill the Yeti.
Yeah, which no one really knew. But the one thing that I thought was cool too is the Yeti had powers.
Yes.
Magical powers.
Which was pretty dang interesting the way they pulled that off. I really liked this one.
Yeah, and another thing that I'd like to mention is the part she is a great violin player, because her dad did.
There's some great music in this
movie.
Yeah,
I agree.
The
music is good.
Movie.
And it's one of the better DreamWorks movies, kind of like How to Train Your Dragon.
Yep. Rolling Stones magazine actually called it How to Train Your Yeti in their review of it, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought it was good too. I thought there's some good character development, and I don't see a need for a sequel, but knowing DreamWorks, it wouldn't surprise me if they did.
Yeah, and they can maybe do one more, make it short and sweet. But I'd give it a 3 myself.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3 as well. I'll probably buy that one.
Yeah. Our next movie is Ad Astra, starring Brad Pitt. He's a spaceman in the way distant future. And his dad was also a spaceman.
Yeah, his dad was also he was an astronaut scientist that went on a mission that ended up, they kind of lost contact. And Brad Pitt ends up being sent on a mission to try to find his dad because the station that was sent out is causing these really weird particle waves that are affecting the planet.
Yeah, it was like a weird power glitch.
Yeah.
You know.
But basically, it was kind of like an EMP hitting the entire Earth all the time, but like a mini EMP, but it was getting stronger.
Yeah, visually, I'd say it was a great movie. I liked it visually.
The visuals were amazing. The story was really deep. I caught on to it a lot. I really enjoyed the story. But
it was about fathers and sons, and he had to, there were some mistakes that were made on the mission with his dad that he's got to, make up for.
Yeah, he does find his dad in the end, and they have a big argument, and he ends up just basically leaving his dad behind. But overall, I liked the movie. I think I liked it more than Ricky. I'd give it a 3.
Yeah, and I'm at about 2.5. I gotta say, Pitt's performance was good. The future in that, the one thing I liked about it is you could travel to the moon
Or to Mars.
Yeah, or the
You could
Mars,
vacation
like it's
on Mars.
nothing. Yeah, and they have like airport. It feels like an airport terminal.
Yeah, on the moon.
Yeah,
And in Mars.
Brad Pitt said that it's strange. To him, he thought it was strange how it commercialized the moon.
Yeah. I kind of wonder if that'll happen someday. Probably not in our lifetime.
No, not in our lifetime. But maybe in the future. You never know.
Yeah. The next movie on our list is the rather controversial movie Joker. Of course, follows basically the life of the Joker before he was the Joker, the DC supervillain.
Yeah, it's played by Joaquin Phoenix, plays the Joker, and he lives with his mom, and he has a shitty job.
Shitty job, shitty life. He gets bullied by just kids, even, and his boss.
It's a deep movie. It's a very deep movie.
It's a very deep movie, indeed.
He has a lot of mental issues.
Yep, he's on lots of meds, and the program actually for the therapist that he was going eventually later in the movie, like they have to shut him off because the funding was taken away for the program. And I mean, I don't want to delve too deep into the story of this one. It is a rather disturbing look at how society is when it comes down to it. Joaquin Phoenix deserves an Oscar for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say personally, I liked the movie, but to me there was just some stuff that was just way too deep for me, my personality. That's why I'm not as jovial during this movie.
Yeah, he had to cover his eyes a couple of times, I remember, during the movie, and I walked out of the movie with a grin on my face. I don't know what that says about me, but
yeah, I agree with Dan. I hope that Joaquin Phoenix at least gets a nomination. I know how the Oscar committee is about superhero movies, and sometimes, but you never know. Lightning might strike twice because Heath Ledger won. So
yep. I mean, that's the thing, though. I mean, this really can't. I can't say this is a superhero movie. This is. I mean, it's not even really a comic book movie.
No,
when
it's
it comes
not,
down to
and
it.
that's why
It's a very serious movie.
It's not, and that's why if some of you haven't seen it yet, I know it's been out for a while, and by the time this comes up, it might still be in theaters. Don't take your kids. Please don't take your kids.
Yes, please don't take your kids. We saw little kids probably like 10 or 12 years old in the theater, and we were like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Especially after we actually saw it and understood it.
And and I'm not going to delve into that, but yeah, it's not a movie for kids. I'll just say that.
So, what would you give it?
I'll give it 3.5 myself. It's
3.5.
Yeah, no 3. It's
3?
more 3. It was a good movie. I've told everybody at my other friends and stuff. It's a good movie, but it's very deep.
It is very deep. I'd give it a 3.5. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I guess I just have a dark sense of humor, I guess. Or a dark soul. But I'd definitely give it a 3.5 myself. It was pretty good.
The next movie on our list is another Disney live-action movie, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
Yeah, a sequel to the first Maleficent movie, which, of course, was based off the character Maleficent from the Sleeping Beauty movie, all the way back in the days.
Yeah, and this one, a lot of new characters, but mainly Sleeping Beauty is still there, and she is looking to get married, huh?
Yeah, she wants to get married to the gentleman that she met in the first movie. And his parents, well, his mother in particularly, is kind of against it because of her, because of Sleeping Beauty's, Aurora's relationship to Maleficent.
Yeah, it was the father and the son are kind of like, hey, let's bring these two kingdoms together, the Moors and the kingdom together.
Yeah, and the mother was kind of against it and kind of set it up to make
Which is Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Didn't mean to jump on, but Michelle Pfeiffer does a good job
she does
in the movie.
I mean, she's been a villain in several movies, and I've always liked her as the villain.
Yeah.
So Michelle Pfeiffer's character ends up kind of setting up to make it look like Maleficent had poisoned Prince Philip's father.
Yeah, and then all of the people that were skeptical in the town, they were like, maybe she did do it, and they were gun ho about, the wedding's off.
Yeah, and Maleficent kind of storms out of there, and then she actually gets attacked. They shoot at her from the top of the castle.
Yeah.
But luckily, another person of her kind, which she didn't know there were any more of her, sees her fall and grabs her out of the water and takes her back to their hideaway.
Yeah, and it's a whole group of them. It reminds me of
like thousands of them.
Yeah, it reminds me of the cave and stuff. Reminds me of the people in you remember Time Machine?
Yeah.
The people that lived underground there.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing. It was a whole, and they were one of them was very like open to everything, but most of them wanted war.
Yeah, well, there's one specific one that was kind of riling up, like, no, we should just kill all the humans and take over the planet, because we used to have access to the whole planet.
Yeah, and
then one was open to having a peaceful resolution.
Yeah, and it's weird because up on land, Prince Philip's mother was the one that wanted war, and the dad was like, hey, let's keep this together.
Yep. So, towards the end, there is quite a big battle, and a lot of secrets are discovered. And, basically, all the Fae, I believe that's what they were called, the Fae, show up and have a battle with the humans, and the people of the moors are there. Almost forgot, the Queen had set it up to try to basically exterminate all the magical creatures from the moors.
She did send them invitations of this wedding happening, and she locks them all in the room with this weird girl. I thought that girl was weird as all get out.
She's playing an organ that when she pressed a certain key would shoot out like a canister of this gas that would kill the magical creatures. Which,
on the sidebar, nice to see Warwick have work again.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I remember the first time I saw him all the way back in
when he was in Ewok.
Yeah,
and Willow.
Ewok and Willow.
Willow I've never seen. No, I've never seen Willow.
Willow, I think, was the first time I saw him, and I didn't
even know
he was
weird.
Ewok at the time.
What is it? His character's like a weird tinker.
Yeah.
That kind of helps Maleficent. I mean, not Maleficent.
Alchemist. He's the one that figures out how to make the chemical that can kill the magical folk.
Yeah.
But
in the end, it's a true Disney movie, and love conquers all, and everybody stops fighting, and
the Queen gets turned into an animal.
Yeah, and she gets her comeuppance.
She gets her comeuppance, and they get married at the end, and I really liked it. It dragged in a few spots. I think they could have made it a little shorter. But besides that, I think it was a good sequel. I didn't even think it needed a sequel.
Yeah, neither did I. I didn't expect it, but it was still good. I'd give it 2.5, almost 3.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, 2.5, 3. I think overall they did a good job making a sequel that I don't think anybody asked for.
Yeah.
Next on our list is the sequel to Zombieland, Zombieland 2 Double Tap. Of course, it follows the same characters from the first movie. There's Woody Harrelson and Emma Stone, and I honestly can't remember the names of everybody.
Jesse Eisenberg. And I forget her name.
I always forget her name too.
Abigail Breslin. Abigail Breslin.
Yeah, but and of course they been living in the Zombieland for a few years at this point, so they're all accustomed to everything. They've got their rules. They run into a few new characters.
Yeah, and there's the zombies are getting better and stronger.
Yes, some of them are stronger.
That's what the main plot is the zombies are getting bigger and stronger, and they're,
It designated different types of zombies in this one. Like, there's one that's called the Homer, like Homer Simpson, because it's a kind of a dumb zombie. Yeah. And there's the ninja that kind of just sneaks up on you, and I don't remember all the names of the rest.
And then there was one that, I don't remember the name of it, but there was a one that they were smarter.
Yeah, like the newest zombie, like a super soldier almost, you would call it.
Yeah.
That they were stronger, they were faster, and they kind of had to confront those towards the end.
Yeah.
They kind of took a journey because Emma Stone's sister runs off with this other guy.
Yeah, freaking hippie.
Yeah, he was a hippie, and they kind of go to try to track him down.
Well, before that, though,
yep.
They were actually, Emma Stone and her sister were off on their own.
They left up.
There was a disagreement with Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson, and they were off on their own.
Yeah, and they ran into this other girl in the mall.
Oh yeah, she was funny because she was just
really
straight
funny.
up stupid.
Yeah.
Her character was that you would think she was a real zombie, but she wasn't. Spoiler, but
yeah,
she was just a dumb blonde.
Dumb blonde. Very characteristically dumb blonde from like a 90s movie.
Yeah,
really,
very
seriously.
funny.
Very funny. But so we got Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, and the blonde are kind of living it up in the White House, and Emma Stone comes back and is like, "Hey, my sister ran off," and so they all go off to find her.
Yeah, and they on their journey they had the Graceland.
Yep, that's exactly where I was just gonna go. But they meet a lady there at Graceland too. She was pretty cool. I don't remember her real name. But, she was actually in the Luke Cage Netflix series, and I really enjoy her, even though I forget her name. But,
yeah, she was good. She was a huge Elvis fan like Woody Harrelson, and she was like his perfect match, so to speak.
Yep, exactly. But they end up leaving Graceland, heading to...
there was those two characters that I think really shouldn't have been in the movie.
Oh, yeah, the
that
two
were
characters show up.
The exact clones of Woody Harrelson and
Jesse Eisenberg.
One of the dudes, I don't know his real name. He's in the Verizon commercials. And the other one was Luke Wilson.
Yep. But, they had a few funny lines, but then they just ended up being throwaway characters.
Yeah.
So, in the end, they end up going to
the hippie commune where there's no weapons or no nothing. As you could tell, I'm not huge into hippies, but they went there and they found their sister.
Yeah, they found her sister, and some of them were gonna leave, and when they started leaving, they realized that there's this big horde of the super soldier zombies heading their way, so they had to kind of figure out a way around that.
And they end up working together, even with the hippies, and they fight them off and all that stuff.
But in the end, I thought it was a pretty good follow-up. It kind of dragged a little bit. There were some really funny bits in it. I think I would give it probably a 2.5.
Yeah, I'm about there too, 2.5. I didn't remember anything from the last movie, so
it's not really a memorable movie, but it's a fun movie. It's like it's a summer popcorn movie.
Yeah,
and this
in
one
October.
Is too. Yeah,
but
all right. So you give it a
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
I give it a 2.5. Perfect.
And the last movie on our list today is Terminator: Dark Fate. It's a new movie in the Terminator franchise. There is
It's basically a follow-up to the original two Terminator movies. Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger are back, and this one's still in theaters because we're recording this a week after it came out.
Yeah.
So we don't want to give too many spoilers, but essentially, it's pretty much the same story as Terminator 2. a human gets sent back to protect a specific person, because she's, supposed to be very important to the future.
Yeah.
But the human that gets sent back is enhanced, so she's a cyborg.
Yeah, she has some robot parts and extra strength and things like that. But she is a human. Yeah.
Yeah. But she gets sent back. They run into Linda Hamilton. They end up running into Arnold Schwarzenegger, who, of course, is playing a Terminator.
But there is a brand new kind of Terminator that's very hard to. It's very hard to kill.
Yeah, very hard to kill, and he was sent, of course, to kill the person
that
they're trying to protect.
Yeah, and the actor in it, I like. He was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he played Ghost Rider. I forget the guy's name, but he's a good actor and he played a good villain.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, this one I think is just another. It should have been a summer popcorn movie too. I really liked it. Aside from the fact that it's basically a rehash of Terminator 2, the basic story, it's really action-packed.
Yeah, there was a lot of action.
There's only like a few times in the movie where it slows down at all. It's maybe like 15 minutes of the movie that's actually calm. The rest of it's just fight, 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 fight. So the movie goes by really quick for being over 2 hours.
Yeah, and the banter between Linda Hamilton and Arnold's character is funny. I liked it. I mean, not funny in the sense that like it's like a buddy cop movie. It's more just like she hates him so much, but it's still kind of they work together.
Yeah, exactly. But we won't get too much into the spoilery stuff.
No,
there.
we don't want to.
So,
yeah.
What would you rate it?
I'm just gonna give it about a 2.5. I'm not really huge into the Terminator franchise myself. I've never seen the first two. Sorry, never seen the first two. So this one, I was kind of going into it like, hey, it's good. Kind of like when we reviewed the Fast and the Furious movies. I'm not huge into those, but I did like
was really good.
Yeah, but I like the action in those, kind of like I am with Terminator, so I give it about a 2.
I said 2.5.
Sorry, 2.5.
I'll give it a 3 actually, because I really enjoyed it. I was too young to see Terminator 2 when I first saw it. I remember that. But I always loved Terminator 2. I've never seen the first one, but I loved this one. I thought it was great. Alright, to summarize our ratings for today, so Abominable, we both gave that a 3. At Astra, Ricky gave it a 2.5, I gave it a 3. And Joker, Ricky gave it a 3 and I gave it a 3.5. Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, we both gave it a 2 to 2.5. Zombieland Double Tap, we both gave 2.5. And Terminator Dark Fate, Ricky gave it a 2.5 and I gave it a 3. And that'll pretty much wrap it up for this episode. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're not already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. I try to post there as often as I can. And as always, if you'd like to support the channel, there's some links down below in the description where you can help support the channel. Other than that, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me here today, Ricky.
Hey, no, it was great.
And until next time, make your life more fun by keeping it multi-dimensional. Catch you later.